Let my man Serge walk you through. Pay attention.
Love dictionary, huh? You know I let it learn. Exotic expensive candles, yeah, I let it burn. Never hate my nigga, sit back and just wait your turn. No shirt, cabana chillin', caught a sunburn. Hey, everything legit, and I had to earn. Baby's birthday say.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And welcome to the Marlon vs. Marlon podcast. And I'm your boy Marlon.
And I'm your boy Marlon.
Join us as two childhood friends go back and forth, argue, fight, debate. Once in a blue moon, we might even agree on everything from sports to pop culture and everything in between.
All right, today's episode will cover all of the NFL action. We'll get into the playoffs, all of the games. We'll get into every game. Looking forward to the AFC and NFC championships. Also, we'll get into some Kyrie news. Get into all that. Harden got traded. Deshaun Watson, he wants out with Houston. So we'll get into all of that stuff. But we'll begin with the Bills and the Ravens. This one,
that one hurts, huh?
Yeah.
It
It hurts bad. I mean, I will say this, and we're gonna have our only guest on today. Should be calling in a second, but I'll say this: I think that the Bills defense did a great job against Lamar Jackson, but also too, Lamar Jackson has to get better. I don't know if this. I mean, you've been screaming it. He can't throw. I feel like just like with Giannis, he can't shoot. We know that, but they need to make some changes with that offense.
Yeah, you have to throw the football to win games in today's NFL. And we saw that with the Browns, who we'll talk about in a little bit. No matter how good their running game is, you're still going to have to throw the football to win games. And he can't do it right now. I don't know what's going on with him. He just, yeah, it's good. It's good. He, it's rough. And I've been saying it, and people even call me a hater for saying it, but like, yo, you gotta do better, bro.
Yeah.
And 3 points isn't enough. And they're saying that, you can blame it on other stuff. Yeah, you can. But a quarterback in the NFL has to score more than 3 points.
Absolutely.
An offense in the NFL has to score more than 3 points to win games.
But here's the thing: that first drive, when you watch that first drive, you would think they're just running. I don't think they threw a pass for the first 3-4 drives or whatever. But you just thought. I mean, I know they had the 2 missed field goals with Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers probably of all time. But overall, I mean, I'm looking at it like with the way this offense opened up. I mean, it was great with the J.K. Dobbins and just running the ball. But I mean, they just didn't adjust, and some people could say it's the receiving core. He may need more talent because you got Mark Andrews, but I mean, Dez was in there for a few plays. You got Marquise Brown, but other than that, I mean,
it doesn't matter who he has to throw the ball to. The offense is set up with 3 tight ends, 3 people in the backfield that can all run the ball. Like, this is who they've built this team to be. They're not supposed to, because they know he can't do that. When he won his MVP, he wasn't throwing the ball down the field. He wasn't doing all that. And okay, yeah, they missed 2 field goals. Okay, now it's 17-9. What? Like, you're still losing the football game.
Yeah, well, I will say the momentum could have been shifted here or there, and I mean, we'll talk about.
Oh, like when he threw a pick in the end zone that
was bad.
That changes momentum too.
That changed everything. but also too, if you make those 2 field goals and then they don't throw and they score a touchdown, I mean, we're obviously having another conversation. But I don't want to do the woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I mean, Lamar has to do better. But I mean, I will give some credit.
What's up, Tilly? What's up, big bro?
Some credit to the Bills. Like I said, defensively they did good. They did a lot better than I thought they would.
I mean, you gotta start respect. Why are you copping pleas for freaking for Lamar Jackson, but you won't give Josh Allen his credit?
I mean, I think for the most part, I will say this. I do think that Josh had a decent game. There's a lot of things that he could have did better. They did run him a lot as they normally do, which they need to watch out before he gets hurt.
They didn't have as many of those dumbass run plays that they had last week, though.
Correct. Correct.
Where
Correct.
just
So
off tackle with the quarterback.
Yeah, and then I do love the connection. Him and Diggs, they are a great combination. I don't know. He still has a little bit of growing to do, but we'll see. But our one and only guest joins us today. Clover is back. She's a huge Bills fan, and for one, I'll just say I was wrong about the Colts. Definitely thought the Colts were gonna surprise the Bills, and I was wrong about the Ravens. So congratulations on your Bills.
We're working on the sound. Hold on.
Okay, sorry about that. Here she is, Clover. How you doing, Clover?
Hey, what's up, Marlon and Marlon? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
All right, Marlon, I don't mind. Every time you pick against us, we win, so it's all good.
Look, he's probably going to pick against you again next week.
You know I am.
Of course.
You know I am.
How can you pick against the Super Bowl champs? How can you?
Well, I almost picked against him in the second half when Mahomes went down, but we'll see if he's all there. I'm sure there's not a doctor in the country that'll say he's hurt next week, but
yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think he'll play, but
he's
what
gonna
kind
play.
of space is he going to be with? I was hoping to throw that toe because he couldn't set his feet to throw right. He was throwing some duds in the flat. Like I don't know about that toe.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. Shout out to Fabio and Jason jumped on the line.
I think, of course, with Mahomes, he has to play. There's no playoff game with Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady. It doesn't matter. Like they will find a way, to play.
They're gonna dope him up. He's gonna get all kinds of shots.
He's getting everything. He's gonna play, and I think that's gonna be one of the Arrowhead. I mean, of course, without the 70,000 fans, that's one of the hardest places to play. So I do think the Bills do have that credit of going there and going up against maybe 6,000-7,000 fans or whatever versus the 70. So I mean, it should be a good matchup. I don't think the Bills have enough to hang with the Chiefs, especially defensively. The Chiefs are just too explosive. But I'm at least hoping for a good game.
I think it'll be a shootout though. I think that Stephon Diggs is going to continue to have a great season. He's going to have another big game. I think they get just enough from everybody else. You'll see Cole Beasley will have about 4 or 5 catches. Allen will make some plays with his feet. Because that Chiefs defense isn't very good.
It's not.
They made some good plays last week, but you're playing against Baker. Baker made a Baker play. Yeah. And the Honey Badger made a good play to turn that game around. But I think it's closer than people think it'll be. And the weather's not going to affect the Bills coming in there.
That great
point. Yeah, that win was no joke. I mean, it was, Tucker missed a couple field goals. Our kicker missed a field goal. Allen threw down the field. The ball just went all over the place. So, we won't have to deal with that this week. And because we've been having trouble getting a rhythm going. The Colts defense was tough the first week. And Baltimore, they were really tough too. I mean, that was like, I really enjoyed that game. It was like an old school football game. It was like 3-3 at halftime. I was like, wow, this is like really good chess match here. And then it was just like, we drove down the field after the half. Then they drove down the field. There was just 2 possessions in the third quarter, and then he threw the pick, and that was it. I mean, they're about to score and tie it up. And, it was going to be whoever made a mistake was going to lose, but he made a mistake first.
Yeah.
Jackson did.
Horrible play. And he's sometimes you just got to just stick with what you know, stick with what you're good at, and which is running the ball. However, like I said earlier, Buffalo did a great job with, containing him. And that first drive didn't look great defensively for the Bills, but, they adjusted and they came out. But Chad made a good point in the comments. He said, if they make those 2 field goals, it's 9-3 at halftime. So the momentum somewhat could be changed. So
why?
Like people keep saying, shout out to Bill, jumped in the comments too. He said, go get Michael Thomas for Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball, it doesn't matter who he's throwing the ball to. Like, he's not a great quarterback. He's not a good thrower of the ball. He's effective and he's hard to guard because of his legs. But when you make him one-dimensional and you take away their run game, when you get down a touchdown or 2, you have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what they're not built for. And they're not built that way, not because they don't have receivers. It's because they don't have a quarterback that stretches the field.
Right. Yeah, like that's what was killing us with Rivers, is he could just find the guy that will just keep dinking and dunking running all the way down the field. I mean, he did that all day. And then, you know, he just couldn't make the conversion for the touchdown on that fourth down. But, I mean, that's what he was so good at. And then, so then we had to change, you know, direction the next week and just, okay, we just make Lamar one-dimensional. He forced him to throw. You know, he beat us a couple times with some scrambles for some big yards. But for the most part, they kept him contained, wouldn't let him run outside. And he was forced to throw. I haven't gone back and looked at the touchdown or the interception. But I was wondering if there was, like, a lane for him to run in. You know,
Oh yeah, that last.
What was it, Andrews?
Mark his only target that he loves. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like
it seemed like he had some time. So I was wondering if he could have just ran the ball, but not that it matters.
and it was late in the play. I mean, that's quarterback 101, and I know this. I've never played quarterback, not in Pop Warner, and definitely not in NFL. But you don't throw the ball over the middle late. It's just something you don't do.
Especially just down in the red zone area where everybody it's just short, and then on top of that too, you might think you have an arm to throw it in there, but you get these linebackers that are running 4 3s and 4 4s and however fast they are now, that can just jump right in front of it. So
that was a DB.
It was a DB, but just in general, you know. But I don't.
Yeah.
I just think that it was a tough one, and of course after the concussion, he's not coming back, and that other than that, it's a wrap. So.
Oh, he got a concussion.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he get hit harder than Mahomes?
Yes, because you saw his head go back and hit the turf.
Yeah.
With Mahomes, it was one of those weird concussions where it looked as if it was
I thought he
something with his neck or something,
yeah.
but he got up wobbling in it.
Oh no, he was definitely concussed.
Yeah, so
but it just didn't.
Yeah.
Usually, you see the hit, you see the head hit the ground, or you see the head-to-head contact,
right,
and it just wasn't there for the Mahomes play, so it looked kind of awkward.
Right.
Well, what I heard today is someone was likening it to like that punch, like for boxers, you hit that one spot in the neck, and that just basically you can't get the message. Your brain can't get the message to the rest of your body. I don't know what that term is. It's some boxing term.
No, I
Not
got
my
you.
thing.
Yeah, because he locked up a
That's
little bit. He definitely saw his arms lock up a little bit
Right.
when he was on the ground, and then when he tried to get up, he was out of it.
That
So.
wobble, yeah. Sticking with that.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, Clover.
oh, I was just saying he was running to the locker room, so obviously he, kind of bounced back. I mean, they said he had they wanted to bring him back. He seemed like okay to come back, but I guess the concussion doctor didn't prove that. So.
Yeah. So sticking with
I
that
think he'll
game,
be okay.
yes, he's going to play. But sticking with that game, there was a crucial touchback which I think could have made the Browns win this game as far as with Higgins fumbling, out of the end zone. Which I feel like they should change that rule.
They should probably get the ball back at their 20 or something like that.
At the 20-50 something,
Not the 50. Geez.
Yeah, or
Just
make a
something.
penalty.
Or
20
something.
penalty or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it. I don't know. I just feel like that rule should be changed, but that definitely was a game changer. And I will say this: I will give Baker and the Browns a ton of credit. They've showed me a lot. We've always said that we need to see more from Baker. We've seen a lot from Baker without one of the, I'm gonna still say, a top 3-4 receiver in the league in Odell for
He's not that,
a third or fourth of the season when he was there. But him and Landry and Peoples-Jones, Higgins, all those guys, they came to play. And the Browns, I want to give the Browns a ton of credit.
Why are you quick to give the Browns credit in a losing effort to which they played the last half of the game without the best player in football, and you won't give the Bills credit for beating Lamar Jackson? I'm so confused right now. How does this work?
Because the Browns is the Browns.
So what? When's the last time the Bills have been good? 95, 96?
It's been a while.
Give them some credit, man.
Both teams have been a pit of misery forever.
Yeah, so I'll give the Bills some credit. I do think that they.
This is so hard for you. What did the Bills do?
It's so nice, Marlon.
They get some credit. Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs. I do. He gets a ton of credit. I mean, with what he's done with a somewhat of an average quarterback like Josh Allen. But yeah. So So looking to this game, are you nervous?
Man.
Are you anything that you're worried about? Obviously, other than this elite offense, do you, as a Bills fan, are you going into this game with a clear thought that you guys could win this game?
I think it's going to be, I think we have a 50-50 chance, really. Like, I'm not nervous because I feel like getting to this point where we have already is awesome, but, you know, it's like the Super Bowl is still just one game away, so I really, really want to win, but I'm trying to, like, prepare myself if we don't. I'm not going to get too upset. But, you know, the defense, like you said, you know, they have Spagnuolo. What's his name? Spagnuolo. He coached those Giants defenses when they beat the Patriots. So I know he likes pressure, which is good for us because Allen can really beat the blitz. So, but I'm not sure that they're going to just hang back like, you know, Baltimore hadn't hung back a lot. They are heavy blitz teams, and they didn't do all that. So we'll see. But I don't think they're as talented on defense as, like, their secondary is not as talented as Baltimore. I think they're really tough and physical. But we'll see. I mean, they have, who they have, Hitchens on there. And
Honey Badger, and that's
it's
really about it. Like, defensively,
they got Jones. Chris Jones is one of the best defensive linemen in football.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, okay. But then offensively, you know, I don't know. We're going to have our linebacker Milano on Kelsey probably most of the time. That's going to be, you know, he's pretty fast, but, you know, not, you know, kind of smaller. And Kelsey is just a beast. So
yeah.
I think that's going to be...
He's going to find a way to get open.
Yeah, and they're going to get their yards, you know. I don't know if Edward Delaire is going to play or not, but that wouldn't be good if we had to deal with the two running backs.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think it's a good matchup. I was more worried about the Browns if we got them. Because, you know, they're a pretty complete team. And they just made a lot of mistakes. And I don't understand why they didn't run the ball more.
Right. Yeah. And they with them, they definitely had a good 1-2 punch, but I think they just wanted to kind of open up that offense a little bit. And you know, yeah. So
yeah, I wonder if their game plan was like, okay, we got to throw to hang with Mahomes. You know, we got to keep throwing the ball and try to throw TDs. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, but you know, we'll see. It's definitely a matchup I think that everybody would want to see, number 1 and number 2 in the AFC, and so we'll definitely be tuned in. But good luck to you. You're gonna need it.
Thank you, Marlon.
Just saying.
Well, how do you feel about your new coach? I guess my coach wasn't good enough.
I don't. We were just actually talking about this in one of our group chats. I'm not mad at the hire. I've seen what he's done defensively. It was more so a fast track to being a head coach. But you know, just seeing what he's done defensively, I think that's where our team lacks.
Wait, who'd you guys hire?
Brian Staley.
Who's that?
He's from the
Rams.
Brandon Staley, Rams defensive coordinator.
He didn't do anything on defense. He got Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald.
If
Give me Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. Hey, you rush and you cover him. Everything else falls into place. What?
I think you're right. I think you guys are hot on offense. I mean, there wasn't any problem there. I mean, Herbert threw like 300 yards right his first game, right?
This is why I'm hard on Josh Allen, because we look at we want to praise Josh Allen and right now Justin Herbert is better than Josh Allen right now. We look at Josh Allen.
Wait, what did you just say?
Justin Herbert is better than Josh Allen.
Oh,
we look at Herbert. We
God.
look at Herbert's rookie season. In 15 games, broke just about every record possible. Did he not?
Yeah.
In Josh Allen's rookie year, they were still wondering if he was even going to be the guy. Now, Josh Allen he's developed.
Justin Herbert in their rookie year.
He's developed, though. Josh Allen has developed a lot. He's come a long way from being the person that we don't know if he's the guy to now you got your franchise quarterback. So I'm just glad that...
Who's the first pick from the 2018 draft to be in the AFC Championship game? Not Baker, not Donald, not Jackson, not Rosen. It's Allen.
I know. I give you that. I'm just saying.
Did you just say that Justin Herbert was... Oh
yes.
My God.
I know.
He had a better rookie year than Josh Allen is what you're saying.
He had a better... Well, I don't want to say he had a better season than him this year because obviously look at where he's at and look at where Josh Allen is.
Well, that's just not true. You can't say that.
Yeah, that's why I'm not delusional. I'm not going to say that. But
so why are you saying he's better than him?
You see his
arm?
arm?
Oh, my gosh.
You see the arm of this
guy? We
guy
had a head-to-head matchup this year, and they lost.
No, I guess Jamarcus Russell's good, too. We're just looking at arm strength. Is all he's doing.
All right, Clover. Well, we appreciate you joining, and I'm sure we'll be talking.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
We'll be talking
Good to
smack
talk to
soon.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Almost walked away.
What you mean?
Justin Herbert isn't better than 25 quarterbacks in the NFL right
Just
now.
because you haven't seen film of them.
I watch the games. I don't need to go back and watch film.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on because we'll be going back and forth again with this all day. The NFC, we just said it before. As far as my new coach got smacked against the Packers, that was Devontae Adams might be the best receiver in the league.
Might be.
He-
Who's
he-
better?
He might be. I mean, some will still say Michael Thomas. You still got him in there. You got D-Hop.
Yo, shout out to Michael Thomas. He played through apparently like
Yeah,
5-6
man.
injuries this year.
Played for
He's
his
going to
QB.
have 4 surgeries in the offseason at least. So shout out to him. I think you're crazy for doing that, but whatever. Good job. You're a tough guy, man of the year.
Yeah.
But you're not better than DeAndre Hopkins or
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams right
Yeah.
now. I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean,
Last year you were. When you went crazy last year, you were. The only person who can have who can really have this conversation.
say D-Hop.
No, it's Stephon Diggs. Stephon
It
Diggs.
is?
He's got the most receptions and the most yards. That's the only argument because when you line up against him, there's nobody that's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs got other weapons around him. Like I can't name somebody else who Aaron Rodgers has thrown a pass to. I'm lying.
You
but-
can because we watched.
But still.
That's just because you probably do this. I mean, you're a football fan, so
Right.
you know. But I get your point.
But still, like they're not threats.
Yeah, I mean, and then Rodgers too. I don't want to sit there and I mean, him with the way he had to play against that defense with the pump fake running into the end zone. 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had a good game, 1 yard, under 100 yards. And Lazard with that big play too, right across the middle where Rodgers threw that to him. So this offense definitely is a problem, and we'll see.
So what did Devontae do?
He got a touchdown.
How many catches though? Because I
don't think. And here's one thing too. We were looking forward to that matchup. We were actually looking forward to DK and Jalen, and now we got Devontae and Jalen. So, but I think
Jalen doesn't travel though, huh?
he doesn't. He traveled. He traveled, and look what happened. He wanted to yell at somebody else because he was showing man running back across, and then he wanted to get mad at somebody else for not traveling with him when you were covering him all the way on the end. Traveled all the way with him. You guys didn't. You go this way. The next person, linebacker, goes in. You guys didn't shift down, and then you travel with them back. And then he wants to get mad at the linebacker or the corner or whatever because he didn't go too as well. So
that could still be a thing.
But I mean, if that's the case, he shouldn't have been traveling with him all the way down.
No, that's not true. There's pre-snap and post-snap stuff. He could be a man, and if the routes cross or if I don't know the route you're talking about, but if the routes cross,
it was the one he scored the touchdown on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When it lined up, he showed man. He was covering one-on-one with Devontae. Devontae went in motion. He followed him all the way over. And then when they went all the way back,
I understand that.
They hiked it, and then but at that point,
what I'm saying is, did they cross in a route? Did he cross anybody in a route?
This was just in motion.
No, I know. I'm saying post snap.
No, nobody else was over there.
It was just one guy.
It was just Devontae was over here. He went over here, and then he came back. And Jalen was just a little slow to it because obviously you don't know when they're saying hike. Right. So he hit the Jets when he said hike, and then it was just 1 yard up and then looked back.
Yeah, that's
so it was like you said, I don't know what type of defense they ran. He showed man. Therefore, I mean, you can't be mad at somebody else because you couldn't keep up with your man.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I didn't know the player you're talking about, but I'm saying you could be in man coverage and follow him. And then if 2 receivers come together, or if you guys cross, you guys could still switch. Banjo.
Yeah, but this
banjo is what we call it.
This was all just pre-motion. So, and at that point, let's say, for instance, if that person does go with Devontae, Jalen's already thinking, man, Devontae, that's my guy. Let me go with him. Then you leave somebody else open. So regardless, I mean, you want to sit there and point the finger. I mean, you just got beat. So, and to answer your question, he had 9 receptions.
He had a game.
9 receptions, 66 yards.
Not big yards.
But hey, I mean, he got the job done with that touchdown, I guess, and going up against a Rams defense. So,
Slim Mucho, what's up, Jers?
On to the Bucks and the Saints, which possibly might be Drew Brees' last game. One other thing I'll say too, I think it's crazy to think that Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, two arguably top 10 quarterbacks of all time, have only been to one Super Bowl. Granted, they won that one, but it's just kind of crazy to think that
It's really hard to get there, bro.
it's hard. And then I was just telling somebody else this today. You were in a era of Tom Brady. It's essentially just like LeBron. You're in that LeBron era of didn't make it to the final. Well, shoot, you got LeBron, Brady. So
and you had Peyton Manning in there too.
And you had Peyton. I mean, Ben won a couple, Eli won a couple too.
It was really four quarterbacks that won the greater part of 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? Or a decade and a half. So I think, but I know you just brought up LeBron, and I think that's why, for me, I put him so high, just because you see it in every sport, like not just in football or basketball, but you see it in every sport, baseball, hell, hockey, everything. It's so hard to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everything has to go right just to get there. So for me, that's a big deal. But yeah, it was dope to see these two go at it. It was a good game. I've been saying it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
Just the familiarity when you got a guy, especially like Tom Brady, like photographic memory of defenses and stuff like that. Like you're gonna have to do some things differently and hope it works. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows everything else that you've done to him. So,
and Breeze played horrible that last game. I mean, Jameis Winston was a better quarterback on the field. Taysom Hill was, I think they missed Taysom Hill a lot. Although, is Taysom a great quarterback? No. But he plays a big role in the offense. I think Sean.
You wild today.
What?
Jameis Winston threw one pass in a trick play.
And he was still better than Breeze.
That's
Breeze
wild.
played horrible.
That's wild.
Breeze played horrible, man. I mean, that's the thing. He should have been benched essentially at halftime. You know, but also too, this goes to show this is why Taysom was used so much. I think that they've seen years, and I told you this. It might have been a year and a half ago or whatever. Drew Brees is regressing. We've seen his arm just get, I don't want to call it a noodle arm, but we've seen him not be able to make throws time and time again, week after week.
Yeah, it's because y'all weak-ass Chargers didn't rehab him right. That's why he left y'all in the first place. But this is like, why? Like, how? How are you saying Jameis Winston's I'm flabbergasted. He threw one ball on a trick play. He didn't have to read a defense. The guy was wide open running down the field. And it was like, just don't miss him.
Breeze got 3 picks.
Okay, let's talk about him. The last one, for example, it hit his receiver in his hands. That's Drew Brees' fault?
Hey, man.
The answer is no. What was the other one?
What? I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I mean, 19 for 34, 100, he couldn't even get 150 yards.
He just praised Lamar Jackson and said he needed receivers. Maybe he needs another receiver.
No, Drew Brees needs to retire.
Maybe,
you got Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas wasn't good enough that day.
Well, here's the thing. And on top of that, he just held to
no catches. No catches.
I mean, yes, he was hurt, but I mean, if you are...
Devontae Adams
Brees
got open.
But here's the thing. Yes, he probably would have got open, but if Drew Brees don't have the arm to get it to him, what good is that?
He's been getting it to him all year, buddy.
All year?
Minus 3 games?
Maybe Taysom Hill was giving it to him. Pause.
Taysom Hill didn't throw the ball except for those 3 games.
He had some touchdowns.
And this is a good example.
But they do those trick plays, though.
This is why Taysom Hill is effective. For the same reason Lamar Jackson is effective. You have to prepare for so much when he comes in the game. Not because he's a great thrower or not because he's a great quarterback. It's just because there are so many different things he can do when he's in the game. Sure. And Lamar Jackson's the same way, but for the whole 60 minutes.
And as a defense, you're going to call me crazy for this, but as a defense, when you just have Drew Brees at quarterback, your job gets a lot easier.
No, I'm not calling you crazy. That's 100% accurate.
And the Tampa Bay Bucks, their job was a lot easier with Taysom Hill out because now you don't have to worry about Taysom coming in and is he going to run? Is he going to pass? What is he going to do?
That's when you saw that on the trick play, right?
Well, yeah.
When they saw a different look, they got screwed up and wide open for a 40-yard touchdown. I agree with you 100%.
So and looking up to the other side, I mean, Tom Brady he played somewhat of a decent, he didn't turn the ball over, but he played a decent game, didn't even get 200 yards. That's definitely not going to cut it against Green Bay in that offense. But I want to shout you out for a second. We were talking preseason, and you were saying that Leonard Fournette was going to play a huge role in this offense, and he hadn't. Oh crap! He hadn't had a huge role yet.
Just close it.
I'm trying. I need that.
We could go back.
He hadn't had a huge game yet, but I think now they're going to start relying on him in this offense as far as down the road.
He had a good game on Sunday.
Definitely. When you have a big back like that, I mean, he's definitely going to come in handy. So, and Rojo's been the guy all year, and they've been saying that he's going to be the guy. But now it's like you're showing them a different, somewhat of different scheme when you got the Garrett Blunt. Now you got somebody that's going to run between the tackles versus the speedster out the back.
And I remember that conversation. It was right when he got signed. Actually, he got let go from Jacksonville, and I was like, oh wow, this is like a perfect fit for him. For one, he gets a rest because in Jacksonville they overused him and it was like, thanks, there you are, now you're gone. But also, he's in a better system. Just to your exact point, in Jacksonville, all you had to do was prepare for him, right? So he's going up against eight boxes, 7-man boxes, and now he's on a team where you can't put 7 in the box, bro. You got AB, you got Godwin, you got Mike Evans, you got like
Gronk.
You got Gronk.
He wants to be Gronk.
So you literally can't stack a box against his team. So he's running against defenses as soft as he's seen his whole career.
Yeah.
So he's going to be more productive. He's getting older, but I mean that's like 28.
Yeah.
So that's old at running back years.
Yeah, when you turn 30, there's not too many Frank Gores and APs and
that's a fact.
So,
that's a fact.
But speaking of running backs, I meant to say this earlier. Mark Ingram this dude is going to be for one, you can probably get him for cheap. He didn't play all last year. But I honestly think that the Chargers, if we can muster up some money to pay him, take a chance on him, I think he may be 31, 32.
I'm about to say, didn't you just say that was old?
Yeah, but I'm saying, but we know how Mark Ingram runs. Last year, he was a huge part of this offense. The year before that, he was with the Saints and played a huge part with that Saints before they brought in Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray also too didn't play for the Saints. That was another big thing. So
so this is what I'll say about Mark Ingram. I like Mark Ingram. Like, I'm a Mark Ingram fan. Shout out to him and his family, right?
Right.
But this is what scares me. The same thing I say about Lamar Jackson. They're seeing something in that room to why they have Gus Edwards dressing above you, why they're giving the ball to J.K. Dobbins over you.
And they drafted him high, J.K., so...
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
It don't make no sense.
When you want to win, it doesn't matter how high somebody's drafted. Like, when you're in the playoffs, I don't care that he was...
But you're gonna invest in somebody that you draft that high is all I'm saying.
I agree. What about Gus Edwards? He was getting carries over Mark Ingram.
I don't understand. And a lot of people saying he was banged up, but dude wasn't that hurt all year. I think he had 1 touchdown all year. So something just doesn't add up.
That's all I'm saying. And everybody keeps saying, give Lamar more weapons and this and that. And they built that team the way they did for a reason because they see him every day. And all I'm saying is they played Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins over Mark Ingram for a reason. I don't know whether it was him being hurt. If he's hurt, I hope he gets healthy. But whatever the reason is, there has to be a reason. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit a running back who was second on your team and carries the whole year just for the heck of it in the playoffs.
Even in the regular season, like it's just I don't know. I really don't know, but I do think
he's from Hackensack, New Jersey. I've never been there. I just like to say it, Hackensack.
It's like
I was just looking at that.
But I definitely do think Drew. What's up?
Big trust.
So yeah, he's definitely going to be a running back that's going to give some team a little edge in the future, and I would love for us to go after him.
He'd be pretty good with. You think him and
Eckler would be the perfect combination because we had Brian Ballage, I think his name is. He was in Miami for a little bit. He was in and out the lineup. We had some other 2 young bulls, but none of them panned out. So we got Eckler.
No, we know.
So we got Eckler, and so I just think that would be a great fit. But so looking to this game, I just think there's something we gotta appreciate. Seeing 2 legends in Brady and Rodgers going up against each other. You have a great receiving core. Well, you got Adams and you got AB, who was once the best receiver in the league. Mike Evans, he's still up there. Just a whole receiving core.
A real young bull in Godwin.
Yeah.
He's been dropping some balls lately, but he's still a problem.
Right. So I just think this is going to be a great game.
Did you see the rookie they had at receiver make that crazy 3rd down catch? It was like a back shoulder fade, and Brady threw a bullet, and he like had to reach back and snagged it. I don't know if you saw it, but I was like,
I think I did. Yeah.
I thought it was AB at first, and then they were like, "Oh, this is the rookie." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
It was a hell of a catch, but.
Right. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out.
Brandy, the Chiefs losing this week. Everybody said it, Brandy. Sorry. I didn't say it, though. I think they're going to win. My cousin, the Chiefs fan, she just hopped on live.
Okay. I hate the Chiefs, but they're going to smack the Bills. All right. So we'll get into this last NFL topic, then we'll switch over to NBA. Deshaun Watson. Is there any chance he comes back, or is
Give
he
him free.
done?
Give him free. I don't see why he comes back. They've done everything to show you that they're not trying to win. I hate to say that. Houston's right down the road. Houston, I'll be there this weekend. Don't beat me up.
And now, on top of that, what coach is going to want to go there now? You couldn't pay a coach, and also too, by the way, I'm just going back to us. It was a point that popped in my head. We're cheap too, Chargers, so we're not going to pay top dollar to get no. We're not paying $12 million a year.
Mark Ingram can't ask for $12 million a year.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying for a head coach. That's why my fault. Yeah. So for a head coach, like we're cheap. So even getting the offensive coordinator for the Bills, like we're cheap. We're not gonna pay top dollar for. So, but looking at the Bills, I mean, I'm sorry, the Texans. What coach is gonna want to go there?
They don't get a black coach. I'm serious. They're gonna get somebody who's looking for opportunity.
I mean,
it's gonna be a black head coach, somebody who's been overlooked for some of these other jobs, and he's gonna get it.
And he ain't gonna get paid. Well, I mean, I don't want to talk about his money, but it's not gonna cost much to get him because that's definitely not an attractive job at all. I mean, you got J.J. Watt. What else?
And that's the only way I think you can keep Lamar or what's his name there too, Watson. I'm gonna be honest.
I think he's done, man.
I would be done.
I think he's done.
I would have been done after. I would have set out after they traded D-Hop.
Because your best, and we just talked about it, top 2-3 receiver, whatever place you want to put him.
Wait.
So
no, I agree with you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
She just said anything is possible if Mahomes doesn't get cleared to play.
Nah,
Brandy.
He had a great run. That's about it.
Hey, Brandy. If Mahomes don't play, don't even watch the game. Just look at the updates on your phone because it ain't gonna be pretty.
Yeah, that was yeah. He had that one good run and got all excited. Didn't even get the first down.
Hell of a run.
Didn't even get the first.
And then,
and he made a great play towards the end. He made that great pass. And Tony Romo, would you shut up? Nobody wants to hear you predict. Oh yeah, they're gonna do this. This won't happen. Oh yeah, there's no way they're gonna do this. They're gonna try to get him to go offside. Oh, they hiked it. Shut up, Tony. Let us watch the game. Stop trying to predict everything and think you're smarter than everybody. I said this last year. I'm gonna say it again, Tony.
You've been waiting, and you had to wait all year for him to get one wrong.
I can't watch Tony Romo games.
Well, just don't listen to what the sound.
I gotta watch it now, but normally I watch Red Zone, so it's back and forth. But that's how it is. Troy Aikman and Joe Buck do the best NFL or NFC game, and then
they pay him that much money because of his mind and because he can do that. You know that, right?
They need to pay him to shut up and just let the game breathe.
That's not.
He sounded stupid. He looked stupid. Oh, I can't believe I've never seen that before.
You had to wait all year long for him to get.
Look, that was by far one of the worst calls predictions ever. Like, that was bad.
He gets them all right, though.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
All right, anyways.
And you've watched more than one game with Tony Romo this year. But where are we at now?
All right, so, other than that, I think he, Deshaun Watson, he's
out of there. I don't know where he goes, but he's out of there.
I wouldn't stay. So let's get to some NBA action. There's
NBA.
Harden is probably
Harden. I need your diet, bro.
One of the biggest topics, but I don't think there's a topic bigger than Kyrie Irving right now. So without further ado, I give you guys Marlon Pierce.
Why you set me up like that? Yo, look, I just want to say this about Kyrie Irving and about this whole situation. First off, I want to say, shame on everybody who has something bad to say about him. Because if I go to your boss, to your supervisor, your company, and I ask them, have you ever called out sick? Have you ever no call, no show? Have you ever called out for personal reasons? I guarantee they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, this one time, their dog got sick and they missed work." Okay, Kyrie is a grown blank man and can do whatever he wants. I don't care what contract he signed. At the end of the day, there's sick days at any job you go to, NBA included. He has sick time. We don't know that, but he does. He just doesn't get paid for it. And then, listen to this. This is the other part. The part that Stephen A. Smith wouldn't tell you. And I'm glad ESPN finally posted it 2 weeks later.
That he should retire, or?
No, Stephen A. Smith said he should retire. That's why I addressed him. Donated $323,000 to Feeding America. Partnered with City Harvest to ensure 250,000 meals were distributed to New Yorkers during the pandemic. Partnered with Nike to donate 17 pallets of food and masks to Standing Rock in Sioux Falls when they were fighting the oil companies. Paid off college tuition for 9 HBCU students at Lincoln University. Purchased a house for the family of George Floyd. By the way, that's something that the government or the city or America should have done anyway. And they probably should do something like that for all the innocent black men that were killed by police over the past couple of years. But that's another story. We won't even go down that route. I'm going to say one more thing that Kyrie has done. Kyrie, and this isn't, he doesn't do these things to get credit for them. But I'm not even going to say that. You'll hear about it later, and I'll come back and tell you guys this is what I was talking about when I said it. But anyway, this guy is donating his life to helping others. I'm sorry, Stephen A. Smith, that he didn't entertain you for the past 2 weeks on a basketball court and sing and dance and dribble like the monkey you think he should be because he signed a piece of paper. That's not how it works. He cares about people. So when something happened, he said he had personal issues in his family and stuff going on. We already seen him not want to go to the bubble because of social injustice last year. Like, Kyrie's he's not a very selfish person. So when something like this goes on, why is the first thing you jump to retire? I don't think he's the first person that has not played because of personal reasons. Matter of fact, I'm sure he's not. I do think he's the first person that they've said should retire because of personal reasons.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't miss a season. He missed 2 weeks. And now all of a sudden this 28-year-old is supposed to retire because he didn't come on the court and perform for you like he was supposed to? That's stupid, bro. And I got a lot of respect for Stephen A. Smith. He's been doing this job for a long time. I don't like him because of stuff like this. But it's like, bro, you got to chill. You go too far. And it seems like he only does this for black athletes, bro. That's why I don't like him. Like, if Baker Mayfield was out for 2 weeks, he wouldn't tell him to retire. When Johnny Manziel was running crazy and doing whatever he wanted to, he never told him to retire. He just told him to get his mind right. Mental health is real, for one. We have to start acknowledging that. We can't pick and choose when we're okay with it. When Dak's brother kills himself, everybody's sympathetic because he says he's going through some things. Just because you don't know what happened in Kyrie's family doesn't mean we can't be sympathetic to it. Because if something happens in Stephen A. Smith's family and he misses a show or two, nobody's going to tell him to retire. They just accept it and move on. It's none of our business what's going on in Kyrie's life. But what is our business, and well, it's not our business either, but this is what he is doing. He's contributing to other people, helping out, giving back. And I saw a post say that, this isn't what the NBA pays him for. You're absolutely right. This money was already Kyrie's for things that he had already done.
He earned it.
He had already earned this money. And once you earn the money, you can do whatever you want with it. Whether you're Patrick Mahomes and you want to go buy a baseball team, or whether you're Kyrie Irving and you want to donate it to, 323,000 people. Like, you do whatever you want with the money once it's yours. Yes, he's forfeiting the money he didn't get. Almost $1 million, right? In fines and missed salary.
50,000, yeah, this and that. Yeah.
Yo, if that man's willing to sacrifice that, who am I to tell him to go make money? So that's all I got, man. I said way too much.
Man.
I went on a rant, but it's just crazy to me that people talk about Kyrie. They say, oh, he's not healthy. Oh, he's never this. Oh, he's never that. Oh, you don't know what you're gonna get from him. I think the guy is kind of wild for saying the earth is flat, bro. But what they're killing him for has nothing to do with that. Like, he's really out here helping people and trying to deal with things that are really going on in his life.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. For one, it's just tough for some people, and when you hear about what he was doing and why he was, where he was at, and the contributions that he had, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm a big person in communication. I tell my wife all the time, like, she had horrible communication when we met, and I'm just a big believer in just communication. If you call in sick or whatever, okay, cool. But you communicate that to your boss, your this, your that, whoever. All I'm saying is it should have been communicated, because when Steve Nash has to go to the press and it's like, oh yeah, well, where's Kyrie? I don't know. I reached out to him, he didn't get back to me. So at that point, is something wrong with him? Is he okay? But if you have things that you have to do, if you feel that it's upon your heart to go and help families and pay this and pay that and give to others, cool,
No, I agree with you on that. Like, that's cool. But this is my problem with it. Who had a problem with it in the Nets organization? Not one person came out on the Nets and said, Kyrie is becoming a distraction. He hasn't called me. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. If Steve Nash would have said that on the podium, what Steve Nash said is he didn't answer my phone call. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean he didn't talk to the guy who wrote the checks. That was never said. And for me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. So I'm gonna get personal. Like, you just gave an example with your family. My youngest daughter's mom just had COVID, right? Mm-hmm. If God forbid, like, she's better now, so I don't mind talking about it. But God forbid something happened to her. If something happens to her, do you think the first person I'm going to think about calling is my boss? Yeah. Hell no. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened in Kyrie's life. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But all I'm saying is there are things that happen in life where the first thing you think about is not your job. I hope that they would understand once I do talk to them and tell them what happened. Right. But if they don't, I still got to be there for my family. I still got to go back. I still got to be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm still got to take care of that first. So, like I said, I don't know what happened with him and what he was going through, but I don't care if your job is a mailman. I don't care if your job is, for me, I work for an insurance company. I don't care if your job is an NBA player or NFL player. Your job should never be the first thing you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not an NBA player. He's a man, and he's shown us that. Like, he's an NBA player, maybe second or third, but that's not what he is or who he is. So that's all I'm trying to say with all this. Like, there are things in life that are more important than work, no matter what it is that you're doing. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. Like, there are some things that are bigger than work. That's all.
I agree. So, yeah, man. I just think that, and I think he.
Yes, sir. He back, and they're gonna kill.
Yeah, that's
gonna be scary for y'all too.
So, Harden gets what he wants. He gets the trade. Drops, looks like 30 pounds overnight.
I need it.
It could have just been the clothes. It could have.
Nah,
shout out to the announcer that was like, James Harden definitely had a pregame meal. Like that was hilarious. So yeah, man. I mean, it's just looking at this team and how this offense is gelling and with the way they play with each other. I think it's great. I actually said this before the season started. I said it's only going to take some time for Kyrie to start acting like Kyrie. And when he first had his absence, I was like, yep, there goes Kyrie being Kyrie. And Kyrie has his ways of doing other things, whether he's pouting or he's mad or whatever. I still personally think that this is going to be one of those cases. I don't think they'll win a championship this year. I do think they may win next year and so on. But with that gelling in crunch time, I don't think they've had enough history, if you will, chemistry although they've played with each other here and there or in the past. But eventually, I do think they'll if they can get this core together, get some more free agents as the Lakers did for league minimums, guys that just want to go and ring chase. This is a team that we will be watching out for in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And for the rest
I can't even hate. You know me.
For the rest of the NBA's sake, y'all better hope it's not this year.
Because, and here's the thing, I think just seeing how we've watched them play without Kyrie, you got to realize when when these three aren't going to be on the floor at the same time.
Not the whole game.
LeBron and AD, they're not always on the floor at the same time the whole game. So when Kyrie's sitting, we now see what we have right now when Kyrie's on the bench. When we have Kyrie and KD, we've already seen what they're able to do. Now with all three of them, I mean, there is only one ball. I will continue to say that. So KD has shown he's been unselfish. And at least for me, I'm seeing James Harden become a little unselfish too as well.
James Harden averaged a triple-double for a season.
Yeah.
Like, it's not crazy to see. His first 2 games with the team, he's averaging like 32, 10, and 10. I know he didn't have a triple-double last game, but the game before he had like 12 assists, or 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem. And I'm glad you mentioned what you said. Like, you can stagger a rotation.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's 90 plus possessions for each team in an NBA game. Are you telling me that's if they both shoot 30? If they all three shoot 30 shots, they're not gonna be happy? I'm gonna be. They don't even need 30 shots each because they're all efficient enough to get 30 plus without that. But I'm just saying it's not. You're gonna have nights where KD has a hot hand, he gets 35 shots. You're gonna have, nights where Kyrie's going crazy. But I think what's the biggest thing that they have to happen is Kyrie get comfortable playing off the ball again. And I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it seem because he did that with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget he averaged 27 in the finals off the ball with LeBron. Mm-hmm. So, I think you only put James Harden on the ball because he's such a willing passer. Yeah. Like, he can get his buckets whenever the heck he wants, but he's also creating for others. We saw his first game, KD had 42. So it's not like he's not going to get him going. He's not going to get him involved. But I think the biggest time this all comes to form is when the playoffs come, the game slows down, you need guys to get shots in the last 10 seconds of a shot clock. You got 3 guys that can do it.
And shout out James, and I believe this was last night or the night before. James takes the last second shot, misses it, gets his own rebound, which we don't normally see too much because he isn't quick to take that shot and back up. But gets his own rebound, dishes to KD. KD hits that 3.
They're not both missing.
That's we've seen Kyrie and KD do it once. I mean, but like you said, I mean, you can't make all of them. It's not like Jordan missed last second. Kobe missed last second shots too as well. So I'm going and Rod, you right, bro. They need. I think they need. Oh yeah, defense.
I think this is what they need more than defense, though. I think they need rebounding more than defense.
And you got DJ that's out there. He going.
Yeah, but DJ only. 10, 11 rebounds? He ain't going to get you 20.
And KD don't stay down low like that because he's...
That's what I've been watching.
Yeah.
KD had 10 rebounds his last game, but the first game James was there. And James had a triple-double, so he had 12 rebounds that game. But one of them guys have to be in double digits rebounding. Jeff Green is a name that you guys are going to see, and it's going to have to come up big for them defensively, because DeAndre's DeAndre. DeAndre Jordan's going to rebound. He's going to play defense. He's going to be their enforcer. But he has one of those 3 guys, and I'm saying Kyrie, KD, and James, one of them got a rebound. And they got to be at about 10 rebounds each game. They don't have to do it individually every game, but, each one is going to have to step in and do it. Jared Allen was tough giving him away. I agree with you.
Shout out to Chris LeVert, too. Just knowing that, because you got to go through those physicals whenever you go and get traded and all that stuff. He was saying this is probably one of the best things that ever happened to him, finding that mass on his kidneys. So I think that was, it's just everything happens for a reason. And when you're in season, in game, you don't necessarily need to go through another physical until off seasons or whatever and all that. But the fact that he did find that, I mean, it possibly did save his life.
And shout out to Megan. Half of Pretty Privilege podcast, because she shouted me out on this post that they posted today on this comment, because last week, right after the trade was made and they ESPN posted it, like, he had his physical and everything, and I was like, yo, imagine the trade that you didn't think you wanted ended up being the trade that saves your life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's crazy, going from damn, we got a real chance to compete for a championship if I stay.
Yep.
Now I'm going to a team that's not going to be competing for a championship,
Right.
and just being a little down. And as a player, that happens, bro. You know, you've seen people go from, you know, the Patriots to the Browns, or, you know, whoever, the Patriots to the Cardinals.
Yep.
But this was one of those situations, and then it turns out it could be the trade that saves his life. So that's crazy.
Definitely. So another thing too, I know you always end up getting on Giannis. We did see KD get a little physical with Giannis for whatever reason. I don't know if it was he's just trying to show, oh yeah, hey, I'm this big bad tough guy, but
You talking on that fast break?
on a fast break, and then there was another one where he bumped him, just went into him and just bumped him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's, KD got a little chip on his shoulder. I mean, he's
Oh no, they're definitely the villains of the East right now.
Yeah.
You got 3 guys that left situations that were pretty good for them at least, and they all kind of left in ways that people didn't like.
right.
Whether it was Kyrie with Cleveland and Boston, KD obviously how he left OKC and then how he left the Warriors, and then James, we all just see how he left Houston. Like, get me the heck out of here. So
Exactly.
I think they're the villains of the East for sure. I think they're the best team in the East. I said that before the trade. I don't think you add James Harden and get worse. Regardless of what you had to give up, I don't think that is
You'll find a way.
Yeah.
You'll find a way. As much as I like to hate on them and there's only one ball, this and that, blah blah blah. You know, you'll find a way, some way to make it work. You have, as a coach, you know, Steve Nash will figure out different rotations to get these guys going, and they'll definitely
I
make
think
some
that's the
noise.
biggest thing is the rotation. Make sure they all get in a rhythm so when you're in the fourth quarter, they're all ready to.
And with it being a
Wouldn't work.
7-2 game season, with the amount of back-to-backs you have, okay, KD's most likely going to sit more than anybody. Just because of his Achilles, you don't want to burn him out. Although he had essentially about a year and a half off, you don't want to burn somebody like that out. So as he sits, then you have Kyrie and Harden, and then you see the chemistry that they're going to build together. So I highly doubt that Harden would take any nights off. I mean, I think he's good. Kyrie might have some. Kyrie's always hurt, so he may have like little rest days here and there. But you definitely can kind of make some.
And shout out my bro Too Easy. He's in the Instagram comments. He said, "Who sacrifices shots?" And I think for it to be effective, they all have to sacrifice maybe 5 shots a game each. But I think James Harden does the facilitating. So maybe he doesn't shoot his floater a couple times when he gets in the lane and he kicks it out to Kyrie for open shot or KD, whatever the case is. So I think Kyrie sacrifices the most just for not having the ball in his hands all the time. But I think as far as volume shots, maybe James sacrifices the most.
Come on. Yeah. So one more topic that I have too. I said this comment, I want to say probably before the season started. We are going to see Steph Curry have, if he's going to want to prove to everybody that he's elite, this and that, he doesn't need KD, doesn't need this and that, this was going to be the year for him to do it. And we've seen it last night with the Lakers. I mean, he's going to have games like this where he still says, hey, I'm still Steph. I can still carry it, or I can carry this team. I'm capable of doing it. And he showed beating the Lakers last night.
Is that more him or is that a Lakers meltdown? Because I see
A little bit of both.
I seen some plays. I mean, the Lakers were still up by like 8. There was a fast break where LeBron just walks to the guy covering at the 3-point line, and then Oubre gets a layup on the back door. Like
I'm 36.
Oh, hey,
I'm 36.
I agree. That was a dope video too.
I'm 30, and the fact that they shouted him out too, I think that was probably one of the best things ever. Just knowing you just with your boys, just making videos,
having fun,
and just you're not thinking it's gonna get that big, but you know, yeah, just definitely dope. So, how do you feel about Charles Barkley saying that the NBA players and the athletes, they should get their COVID vaccines first? I don't know if you heard that or not.
I didn't hear that, but I don't know if I said it on here. I just the history in this country with vaccines and people that look kind of like me. I'm not first in line for it, and I think it should be a choice. Regardless, I don't care which way you choose. I support it either way, but I think it should be a choice whether people get the vaccine or not. I don't think because they're in this company they should have to do that.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think they should be first. Like there are other people in the world that need the
Exactly.
vaccine.
And that's
If it does what it's supposed to do, more than young athletes who are in the best physical shapes of anybody in the world.
right.
Like
Just as you said with the whole Kyrie thing, there are things that are bigger than sports. So, when you have people that are the frontline workers, and then now it's trickling down to, this second phase of people. I mean, with athletes, what's more important, the first responders or your entertainment at that point? So,
right. Shout out to Charlie and Vern jumping on the live, man. Appreciate y'all.
Other than that, man, the Versus was supposed to be about a month ago. Ashanti and Keisha Cole.
It's back. It's
So
Mike.
it'll be on Thursday. So I initially came out and was like, Ashanti's going to wax Keisha Cole, but looking at it, it's gonna be even. We had behind the scenes we had a little mini, I guess versus battle, if you will, with our Apple Music or whatever. So I played a hit, he played a hit, all that stuff, and I was like, man, Ashanti don't have that many hits. Now she has. We got to see if she's gonna come out and play a ton of features with Ja and all that.
No,
you're gonna have to put an asterisk. You got to put an asterisk on those. So
yeah, that's her cheat code.
But Keisha has albums upon albums where it's just
fire,
just straight her just crying about how she mad that a dude did her wrong, and then she got one song talking about love.
Yeah. Look, Keisha's a problem. And shout out to Ashanti. She was just in that Murder Inc. conglomerate where it was her. Like, she was the little sis. She was the girl in the group that...
She was the female Murder Inc. or whatever they call it. Yeah,
she was like the queen of Murder Inc. So I think it's definitely going to be close. Because they're only playing a minute clip. So she can sing her little bridge and her, you know what I'm saying, the hook. And it's a super popular song. So people are going to rock with it.
That's where I feel you should be disqualified. If you're coming in and you're just singing a hook, like if Wayne did a versus, and he did Make It Rain. Yeah, this is guitar, and that's it. And it just go that should be off limits.
I agree.
For you just do a verse. I need to see, you either need to have a verse on the song or it needs to be your song. You can't be out here in verses doing
Now, this is my question, though. Is it different, though, for R&B? Because that's a thing for R&B singers. Is like the hook.
Hey, hooks could make you big and huge, but I need to see your music.
But I think
if you wrote it, cool. But I need to see your music.
Even if you wrote it, a hook is a hook. It's not as impactful.
No, I'm saying wrote the whole song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
then we can talk.
That's right. That's cool for like Neo and guys like
that.
Yeah,
right.
I feel that.
Because Neo writing songs for Beyonce, Rihanna, like.
No, if I wrote a song for Beyonce, I'm playing it in verses. I don't care what the rules are. If I wrote a song for Rihanna, it's getting played, bro.
Right.
But no, that's facts. I think though you'll see a little bit, and this might sound crazy. You're gonna see a little bit of that cheat code, like you see with Drake when people play their Drake songs.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see that with Ja Rule in this one. It's gonna be like a cheat code because at that time, bro, 02, 01, like a Ja Rule hook, it was going crazy.
Ja Rule's, At one point, it may sound crazy. At one point, Ja Rule's was going harder than 50.
No, he was absolutely going harder than 50.
Like, it may sound crazy. It may sound crazy right now, but at one point, Ja Rule had his hands on hip hop.
If that sounds crazy to you, you're too young.
Because
if you don't remember Ja Rule's run, you tripping, or you just wasn't outside yet.
Because he had him and what's the other Charlie Baltimore,
they went crazy.
Lil Mo, like he had. Ja had hits, man. Vitty Vitty Vici and just Pain Is Love, like.
He was the one who popularized what we see now, bro. What we see with the R&B hooks was Ja Rule. He was the first one to really be rapping. Yeah, he was the first one to be rapping on them hooks.
Then Ashanti came around, and that was like, and they did some. They made some.
What was the other? What was the dude? Lloyd,
Southside.
We on the south side. All right, we gotta go, man. When we both start singing, it's a rap.
All right. Other than that, who you got winning this weekend?
The Cowboys.
Oh boy, that was your Super Bowl prediction, by the way.
I made this joke in our group chat and it didn't go over, so I'm gonna do it again. That was BD. It was AD after that. It don't count. That bet is void.
I got the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. This was actually my Super Bowl prediction: the Chiefs and the Bucks. That was my Super Bowl prediction. However, I do think Aaron Rodgers, it's time for him to get another one. If he's trying to solidify this legacy, which some will say it's already solidified with that one Super Bowl ring, but Aaron Rodgers is too great of a quarterback to just have one championship under his belt. So, especially last year, because we forget what happened last year.
Whoa.
What?
So you're saying they're going to win it all? Because you said to get a championship under his belt, he got to beat
Green
Mahomes
Bay
too.
is winning the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Calling it now.
Whoa.
I don't even gotta wait till next week to give y'all my Super Bowl prediction. Green Bay's winning it.
Whoa.
And then what was it? Was it last year? Because did San Francisco, did they make it last year? Was it San Francisco? Or who was it? Was that 2 years
I
ago?
think it was the Rams.
The Rams. That's what it was. Yeah. Because when I feel like Rodgers always gets to this point, and then it's gets blown out and can't do nothing. So
all I gotta say is I'm taking the weapons in Tampa Bay over Green Bay. It's the battle of the bays. I'm going with TB12. You don't ever bet against him. I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the GOATs. Don't get me wrong, but
solidify that legacy.
I think it's the young GOAT versus the GOAT. TB versus Mahomes. And I will say this. And this is the last thing I'll say. I don't have anything else to say, I promise, because it's over an hour now.
You'll start getting grumpy.
I love how the NFL has outside doctors come in and perform concussion protocol tests.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that's a team doctor, Mahomes goes back in that game.
Oh, definitely. And especially too with him running to the back, like he just got a little banged up, and he's fine. But if you
that's the problem though. Like he's not supposed to come back in the game, bro. You got a concussion, you're not supposed to go get hit some more within 10 minutes. Like you're not even supposed to go to sleep within a certain amount of hours after you get a concussion, let alone go back and get hit more.
Yeah,
so I think having that outside team physician doing these concussion tests is good for the NFL and protects players from themselves and their organizations.
Absolutely, man. So we'll definitely see. I think it's gonna be a great week of sports, and this weekend we will see the Packers advance and we'll see the Chiefs advance. So
the Bucks.
That's all I got for y'all, man. We'll catch y'all next week.
Shout out to Young Surge.
Peace. We out.
Let it burn.